Since the beginning of time, we've wandered the earth with a starry-eyed belief in what we couldn't see, the paranormal. From ghosts, demons, sirens, fairies, and angels, stories of supernatural happenings have never failed to captivate us. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 spine-chilling mysteries that delve into the depths of the paranormal. El Paso High School Ghost. We're starting off with one of the most haunted schools in the United States, El Paso High School. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, it should come as no surprise as to why a ghost would want to haunt students. Many people come and go from high school each and every year, and it's a place where students discover who they truly are. With a large number of people dealing with bullying, family issues, and problems with self-confidence, high school isn't always as glamorous as it seems. El Paso High School is not referred to as one of the most haunted schools in the United States for no reason. The events that took place there are something out of a horror movie and are almost unbelievable. In order to fully understand what happened at El Paso High School, you must first be able to put yourself in the shoes of a student and learn about its history. The school has always been indescribably beautiful, with marble flooring along the halls, wooden floors in the classrooms, and one of the first concrete stadiums in the United States. The school sits atop a mountainside that overlooks the city, which led to its nickname being the Lady on the Hill. El Paso High School was officially recognized as a historical landmark in 1980, and was known for its highly esteemed graduates, competitive athletics team, and stunning campus. So, what went wrong? How did this seemingly normal high school take on so much paranormal activity? Well, before it was a school, the basement was used as an overflow morgue that would temporarily hold bodies from World War II until the families were informed of their loved ones passing. With this dark history known among students, some were curious enough to go exploring in the hopes of discovering a body or other interesting artifacts, and stumbled upon classrooms. The classrooms appeared to be in pristine condition, but were blocked off with no reason given as to why they were not being used. Students began to question what had really happened in those classrooms, and if there was more to the story. Beyond those eerie details are a number of supernatural occurrences that took place within the school walls. Many had reported hearing the slamming of doors and sounds of students playing games in the gym when the school was completely empty, and there was no trace of people nearby. The one story that stands out as genuinely haunting is from a teacher that worked at El Paso High School. As he was leaving the building to go home after staying late at work, he came across a girl in a blue dress at the end of the hallway. He was about to tell her to leave since it was after school hours. When she turned around, the teacher watched as her sad face disappeared into thin air. After that, numerous others had mentioned seeing a ghost of the same girl, and it was eventually tied to a girl who had slit her wrists and jumped off a school balcony. The area where she jumped has been blocked off, but students still claim to see the ghost of her body standing at the balcony and jumping off. El Paso High School has another ghost story from a class picture taken in 1985 of the graduating class. At first glance, nothing seems unusual about the photo, but after further examination, you can see a faded young girl in a white dress, mixed into the row of teachers. After investigating the unknown figure, no one knew who the girl was. While we may not ever find out, it's safe to say that El Paso has a haunted history that no one is sure what will happen in the future. Mysterious ghost in photo. Ghost fanatics have been known to attribute the smallest of lens flares or misplaced shadows to evidence of a supernatural presence in a photograph. Although usually these anomalies can be explained, occasionally a photograph is taken that reveals something totally unexplainable and undeniably ghostly. This was the case for the Ogletree family, who went on a fishing trip where their youngest daughter Hayley snapped a seemingly normal selfie. The family had been fishing at a set of backwoods ponds where they were the only family in the secluded area, yet when Hayley looked at the picture she had taken, there appeared to be a chilling addition to the party. Behind Haley in the background of her selfie, her dad leaned over in the truck bed, presumably packing up from their fishing trip. What was truly unsettling, however, was the man standing directly next to her father. He appears to be slightly translucent and blends in with the trees and woods behind him, yet all of his features are very distinct and you can clearly see the details of his face, clothing and the cap that he is wearing, ruling out any simple explanation such as a lens flare, overexposure, or some other trick of the lighting. Fortunately for the Ogletree family, the man is smiling, as if into the camera, and looks friendly and harmless. The most obvious explanation for the photo is that a ghostly figure happened to have been caught on camera. Most pictures with undeniable images of humans have been dismissed as hoaxes, with the ghost edited in for sensational value. It is very rare for images featuring definite ghostly figures to not be exposed for having been tampered with. However, if it is legitimate, it would be a huge clue for those seeking to confirm the existence of ghosts on Earth, as it is likely one of the clearest images of a spectre seen thanks to the detail of the ghost's face and clothing. One thing is for sure though, if it is indeed a ghost, it was definitely a friendly one. The White Lady. Next, we move on to a certain paranormal apparition that seems to transgress geographical, linguistic, and cultural barriers. All over the world, a certain kind of ghost story echoes, a story of a woman's apparition returning from the dead to haunt the men who scorned her. Whether she is a mourning bride, a murdered wife, or a banished lover, a common thread to all these stories is the woman's garment, a flowing white gown. It's the perfect outfit for pacing the halls of a manor. It also often relates to the woman's married or almost married status in her tragic love story. In Canada, the lady in white haunts Montmorency Falls near Quebec City. The young woman's fiancé is said to have been killed fighting the British in the Battle of Beauport. When she found out, she dressed in the white gown she had intended to wear at her wedding and came to the falls, where she used to meet her late fiancé. She flung herself into the falls and is reported to haunt the area looking for her fiancé. In Rochester, New York, a woman in white is thought to haunt the grounds of Durant Eastman Park. The ghostly white figure reportedly stalks the banks of the lake in search of her daughter. It is believed that in the 1800s, the area was farmland and the woman lived there with her daughter. One evening, her daughter never returned home from a date with a local boy. Distraught and believing her daughter to have been murdered, the mother committed suicide by drowning herself in the lake. Sightings can be traced back hundreds of years, but in March 2017, a storm ripped through the park so ferociously, lightning struck a tree and an eerie human figure appeared in its bark, with many believing it is the ghostly woman emerging from the tree. In Brazil, the local legend of the ghostly woman in white is one of the most widespread ghost stories in the country. One origin for this apparition can be traced back to the story of a young woman forced to marry a wealthy plantation owner in the 1800s. The plantation owner was known to be excessively cruel to the slaves working on the plantation. The young woman was as beautiful as she was kind and struck up a friendship with one of the slaves. Enraged by jealousy, the plantation owner sadistically murders and cooks the slave and offers the dish to his wife. She refuses. The plantation owner chains her to a chair and refuses to give her any other food until she eats the human flesh. She starves to death and her husband ships her body back to her family's home in Sao Paulo, dressed in her wedding dress. Legend has it that now, every few months, a man will go missing from the streets of Sao Paulo after meeting an ethereal, beautiful woman in a white gown. The story changes from country to country, but across the world, every town seems to have their own lady in white. But what do you make of these mysteries involving the paranormal? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.